I want to welcome everybody to continuation of our discussions on this book, Formula Method for Distribution of Inheritance. Today we are going to look at the case scenario where the sum total of fractional shares of competing heirs exceeds a unit. Now, this case calls for the application of OWL. As mentioned before, OWL is a systematic decrease of allotted shares of competing heirs in an inheritance so that the sum total of such shares sum up to a unit. Now, the historical background of OWL dates back to the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr, the first caliph of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it was later more conceptualized, more and implemented in the time of Sayyidina Umar, the second caliph of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and with the aim of obtaining a balance between the claims of the competing heirs in an inheritance and the value of the bequeathed estate. Now, this doctrine also manifests clearly in the Mimbariya model, which occurred during the time of Sayyidina Ali, the first caliph of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was confronted with the challenge while delivering Friday sermons on a mimbar, a pulpit. Hence the name Mimbariya model. Now, the OWL as a doctrine was also reported by Zaid bin Sabit, a close companion of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in what he called Garra'u model. All these variations of OWL are actually aiming at maintaining a balance between the shares of the competing heirs and then the value of the bequeathed estate. We shall look at the steps involved in conduct of OWL. And in this presentation, we adopted an algorithmic procedure so as to actually ease understanding of the viewers on this very important doctrine. And we also want to provide a counterexample between situations where OWL is applied and where OWL is not applied in an inheritance configuration. So thank you very much. I welcome you to illustration now. Fractional shares summing up to more than a unit. Illustration. We have a posthumous here who is outlived by a husband and two full sisters. Solution. The husband is going to claim 1/2 because there is no presence of son. Two sisters claim 2/3. Now, step 1 of our algorithmic procedure, we are to calculate ES. By ES, we mean estate sharing. Remember, using the formula to determine to determine the ES, we calculate the LCM because that's what we are used to doing. Now, the LCM of the denominators of the fractional shares, that means the LCM of 2 and 3. Now, the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. It's very clear that the multiple which is common, which is also the least among these, is 6. So the LCM of 2 and 3 is going to be 6. Thus, the estate share is going to be 6. Now, step 2 of our algorithm procedure is to check if the fractional shares sum up to a unit. Else, go to step 3. Now we check first if these fractional shares sum up to a unit, then we stop. Otherwise, we have to add another step. Now we are in the checking, we now add 1/2 plus 2/3. 1/2 being the share of the husband plus 2/3 being the share of the two sisters, full sisters. And if we take the LCM, it will give us 3 here plus 4, which is 7/6. But 7/6 is 1 and 1/6. This is clearly more than a unit. So we have to go to step 3. Now in step 3, we add a fraction of estate sharing to the denominators of the fractional shares so as to obtain a unit, because that's the essence of step 3, is to convert this figure, which is not a unit, back to a unit. So we now take the 3 plus 4 which we had here, all over 6, it will now become 3 plus 4 over 6 plus 1/6 of 6. That is 1/6 of the ES. Remember our ES is 6. So this is going to be 3 plus 4 over 6 plus 1, because 1/6 of 6 is simply 1, because 6 cancels here to give you 1. And if we do that, we have 3 plus 4, which will give you 7 over 6 plus 1, which is 7, which is equal to 1 a unit. So we have now established a unit. But then our ES has changed. Instead of our ES being 6, it is now what? 7, because our LCM now, the denominator is 7. So the new ES is going to be 7. And the correct shares, according to this doctrine, these are the correct shares. Husband is going to claim 3 over 7. And 2 full sisters are going to claim 4 over 7. Now I'm giving you the earlier claims of these shares so that you will see. This is shares before we apply the out. Husband was to collect 3 over 6, and 2 full sisters were to collect were claiming 4 over 6. Now if you add up this 3 over 6 plus 4 over 6, they will give you actually 7 over 6, and 7 over 6 is going to be more than 6. But here, because we have applied out, we are getting 3 plus 4, which is going to be 7. So 7 over 7 will be 1. So that means the application of OWL has actually assisted us in obtaining a balance between the shares and the ES, the excess sharing, and the claims of the respective shares. Now the correct distribution is as follows now. Husband is going to claim 3 over 7 of 7, which will give him 3 units. 2 full sisters are going to claim 4 over 7 of 7, which will give them 4 units. Now if you add up the total claims, it will amount to 7 units as required. Remember, our new ES is also 7. That is the way we distributed the estate is actually into 7 units. And we have 7 units here, courtesy of the application of OWL. Now, numerical example. Suppose the inheritable estate amounts to 700,000 naira. Now, we first find the value of the unit share, like we used to do. Now, to calculate unit share, we divide the total value by the LCM, the new ES sharing. ES sharing now, the new one is 7. So we divide 700,000 by 7 and we get 100,000. So 100,000 is the value now of a unit share. Then the distribution is as follows. Husband is going to claim 3 times 100,000. Remember, the claim of the husband is 3 units. And each unit, the value of each unit is 100,000. So it's going to be 3 times 100,000, which will give him 300,000. Likewise, 2 full sisters are going to claim 4 being the units claim times the value of 1 unit, which is 100,000, which will give them 4 times 100,000, which will give them 400,000. Now, if you sum up 300,000 plus 400,000, that will give you 700,000 as required, because the total value of the estate is 700,000. As a counter example, we can investigate what would have happened if the doctrine of OWL was not applied to this inheritance. Remember, our LCM was 6, meaning our original estate sharing ES was 6 before the application of OWL. So let us use this. Now, the original shares were husband 3 over 6 or 1 over 2, 2 full sisters 4 over 6 or 2 over 3. Now, husband will claim 1 over 2 of 6, which is 3 units. 2 full sisters will claim 2 over 3 of 6, which is 4 units. Now, if you add up these units, you will get 7 units, which is more than ES, because our estate sharing, remember here, is 6, and they are claiming 7 units. So from here, you can see that it's a problem. Now, the unit share also, if you divide 700,000, which is the value of the bequeathed estate, by 6, the unit share is going to be 116,666 naira 67 kobo. Now the distribution will then be as follows. husband who claims 3 units here will get 3 times 166, 666 naira 67 kobo, which will give him 350,000 and 01 kobo. Two full sister will get who have 4 units here will claim 4 times 116,766 naira for 67 kobo, which will give them 466,668 kobo. And if you total the claim of the husband and 2 full sisters, you will get 816,666 naira 69 kobo. Not feasible because the value of total inheritance is only 700,000. So you can see what happens if you don't apply the OWL. That means application of OWL is actually mandatory in this case configuration. So thank you very much. I will invite you to the next presentation.